there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. We're on the last of the Subaru build project Subi 2014 Subaru Forester. No, it's not. It's an Outback. And we're on to the rear wheel bearing. Oh, that's a good way to start out, fella. Dropping stuff, as usual. So we're gonna take this off. Set that down. Looks like it has some fairly new brakes on the rear. We're gonna pull the caliper bracket, the rotor, the axle nut, the bolts that hold on the hub assembly, and off she'll come, hopefully. Looks like we're missing the adjuster here, adjuster cover. So let me get an axle nut socket, see what we need for back here, and we'll get trucking. First drive, 32. Nice and free. And I believe back here, it is the 14 style. And it is, and it looks like I'm gonna need some extensions. Reach past everything here. We're gonna 14 mil swivel. Just pull the whole bracket off. Looks like they've got some never sneeze on them. There's that, easy peasy. And then we'll pull our caliper off. I don't have a hook back here with me. However, we can just set that up on the control arm. Yeah, those pads in this baby look new. Somebody's been there. So that's good. Oh, we're gonna have lots of dust and dirt falling. Wiggle our rotor off, which looks nice and clean and shiny, relatively new. Set that on the ground so it doesn't end up on the ground. Oh, it's gonna be kind of a trick. Hopefully that decides to come off. I hear some whistling in here. It means my coffee's ready. What's up, Mrs. O?
What are you doing?
You're making me some coffee. I'll get that for you. Holy cow! Almost got. Oh man. Okay. Next time I'll just leave that for you.
Thanks.
You're making me some coffee? Mm-hmm. And the French press. I have to drink it with my pinky out. Don't mind if I do. All right. Well, thank you.
Your mess too.
Thanks. Oh, my boy Josh over there doing wheel bearings too. I think these are 14 also. They are. I'm going to screw that one back in a little bit. I'll show you a little trick me mom taught me to get these things out, hopefully. Let's see if we get this one. Get that one out all the way. So there's them. Stuck in there a little. We'll give her a few whacks. And then we'll take this one out. Yeah. We'll thread it back in. I don't know if that'll fit those smaller bearings.
No.
You could try it. The one that's on top of my toolbox that's broke is probably the one you need. You can check and see.
Yeah, I just need a little bit of outlet pressure on it. It's spinning, but it's just not on the ground.
Oh, okay. So what we're gonna do now is I left these bolts in a little bit, and these bolts have a head on them, you know, this flanged portion of it, and we're gonna get either an old socket to stick on it, and then we're gonna use Big Nasty and hit right on the head and try to drive the bearing out. I do have a special air hammer bit that goes over these, so we might try that too. I don't have one for Big Nasty, but we'll see what we can do. So here's the air hammer bit I'm using. I don't know who makes this one. Doesn't say on it, but it's just a hollow cup, and the idea is it goes around and will hit on the head. So I've got a couple different ones of these. Yeah, I don't have any idea who makes it. Just has a US patent number on it, is all it is. Oh, wait a minute, it might say down here on the shank. And thank you very much, because it doesn't now. This is a 401 shanker, so we're gonna have to use it in the old weak saw snap-on air hammer, the old 350A. We'll stick it right on the head of them bolts. Give her the baby, baby. Nothing. Just want to make sure that your bolts are threaded in quite a ways because this will push past the threads. I don't think I'm seeing any separation right there. No, sir. And you can spray it all you want. It's not going to help, just FYI. But it makes us feel good. Let me try. Let's go to plan B. And this is plan B. This is the 14 mil socket that Big Nasty's already had its way with a little bit. So we'll stick that right on there. 14 mil, pretty popular size. It's worth getting some sacrificial sockets for. I'm gonna load up the dog. Hang on to your hats, fellas. Mean boy. He's a meanie. You're a mean one, Mr. Nasty. Yeah, Big Nasty. Like I said, Big Nasty, he don't play. All right, you can mess around with your snap on. When you're done playing, bring out the dog. Show you how the dog does it. Yeah, that's right. I know. There's some snap-on air hammer lovers out there. But you hear Josh over there struggling. He's got the 350B, the bigger dog. But you can't contend with the Astro 4980. I think that's the part number. I've called it Big Nasty so long I don't remember what the number is. But so now all I'm doing is working my bolts back out a little bit. I can only think of one time that Big Nasty's been defeated. Usually whatever you put it up against, it's a tendency to break and submit. As we're working it in right now. Pretty soon Josh is gonna come over and just borrow this and get the job done. Yeah, we're done. That's it. You can borrow it now, finish his job. So we'll take the bolts back out. And the good news is it doesn't hurt them, doesn't ruin them. Everything's golden. And then we'll just, come on. My fingers don't work. Bear with me, folks. Well, come out here, man. Lighting, always the issue. Backing plate's loose. Our speed sensor comes down on the top of the hub. When you're whaling on this, make sure that axle don't come out and snap off that speed sensor. A little free tip for you. Let her fall down. Careful just yanking. Dust is getting to me. We can see our speed sensor up there stay intact. Well, you can't, but I can. Now, our wheel bearing is stuck in our backing plate here. Now I don't know if I need to take the parking brake shoes off. That'd have been something to think about earlier. But I'll show you, we're gonna crack this thing loose either way. By that I mean breaking out Brooks. USA, America. Yeah, look at that. Out she comes. So to answer the age-old question, do I need to remove my parking brake shoes? No, simple answer. Leave that hanging by the cable. We're gonna clean out the hole up here. Clean out all the dust and debris. Clean her off around here, which isn't horrible, given the age. And put her back together. And I'll go through that again because clearly you can't see. We're gonna clean off the face, clean out the debris, and what did I say? Get her back together. So I buy these 2-inch cookies on the old Amazon. They hold up pretty well. Generic brand, get them pretty cheap. If I remember, I'll put a link down in the comments. I used to buy the 3M green cores. Those things are quick and awesome. Expensive as all get out, but awesome. That looks pretty good. I think our new bearing will fit fine. The inner rust ring is kind of redundant simply because our bearing only goes in yay far. So now I'm going to clean out the inside of this head just very gingerly. It's only got just a little bit of stuff in it. Pretty good. That's right. Not the normal flavor, but it is the flavor that was on the toolbox. There we go. Doesn't have much pizzazz in that can anymore. I got a little sheep wall. Good stuff. Like I say, be mindful of that speed sensor. It only takes a little bit to snap it off. Got us an SKF bearing here from Napper. Not a sponsor, of course, you know. Line that up. A lot of things we gotta line up here. Not really, a couple things. Get that kind of set up there for right now. Let's see, I find a 14 mil. Usually if you get one hole lined up, the rest of them line up. We're going to line up our backing plate first. There's that. And then the wheel bearing. What's up, Ms. O?
You have software for a 16 Audi?
16 Audi, but you know we don't work on Euro trash.
I'm just making sure there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, sorry, Volkswagen Audis are out of my wheelhouse, honey. I'd be lying to you if I said I knew what I was doing. I hate turning down work, but a man's got to know his limits. And I know there's going to be about 1,000 comments now saying, bro, man, you get VCDS for like 500 bucks. But here's the problem. So I make the investment. I don't have a clue what I'm doing on Volkswagen Audi. And that's the one phone call a year that I have to turn down, like legitimately. We could almost mark this day on a calendar, and I'll tell you again the next time somebody calls with a Volkswagen or Audi or BMW or Mercedes or Porsche, because we just don't have them in our area. Just like, you know, hybrids, I'm not gonna spend hours and hours and hours of training when, frankly, they do not exist around here. I didn't even know if you check DMV records if they would even hit a 1 percentile of the local, you know, 50-mile radius, which would be my customer basis. I'm sure that's something I could research, but as it is right now, hopefully, by the time the EV, as people call them, electric vehicles, hit the market, I will be long retired, somewhere, either sitting on a beach, or in a nursing home in diapers or something. But I'm sure I'm going to be done fixing cars, doing something else, maybe hunting deer. I don't know. I don't know any more than you know. Alright, so bolts are started. 3 of the bolts are started, rather. I think what I'll do now is torque them down in accordance with factory specs. Get the last one in here. And then we'll put our axle nut on and torque it down to factory specs, which is probably somewhere around 170 foot-pounders. I just looked and seen my camera was recording, so I don't know if I recorded the last little bit or not, or if I didn't. I did just put on the rotor axle nut. We talked a little, we shared some things. And now we're going to torque this down to 177 according to Subaru. That's for foot-pounds. Or 180.6 as I ended up at. Either way, close enough. And let's see here. So hopefully we'll get some footage on that last little bit. Otherwise, just put it together how you took it apart. We're gonna stake this bad boy down. Oh, Brooksy. We're gonna put the tire on, and then I have to tighten the front tire off. So I won't tighten them so tight that nobody will ever be able to get them back off. Not really. We'll torque them down. I think these are like 90 something. All right, folks, that's it. Just had a minor mishap. Don't know where we left off. The wheels are on and torqued and tight, and my lift went up in smoke. In the meantime, I went to pick the car up, and the little pump here went poof and blew flames, and it was epic. The good news is I had a spare pump out in the shed, so I got everything switched over and it goes up and down now. Besides that, I think the job went well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Subaru Series build project. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but if you include those words in the title, you get a lot of clicks. So, because that's what we do. We like to do projects and builds and things like that. In either case, we fixed the exhaust, we did the spark plugs, put the air filter in it, the mouse chewed up, did the left front bearing, the left rear bearing. I'm gonna take it for a shimmy, warm it up. The guy wants an oil change, but I want the engine warm when I do that. So we'll do that after lunch and we'll call it a day. And we'll move on. One of you guys move on down there to that comment box. Leave your questions, comments, criticism, concern while you're down there. Subscribe and ring that bell. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.